What up, squad? You already know what it is. It's your boy Red Out Rod, man. If you're new to the channel, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn the notification bells on, and share this video with a friend of a friend of a friend, because I already know this one's gonna be another banger. But more than just it being a banger, it's very, informational, right? This video will contain a lot of information on potentially getting you inside of one of these Hellcat red eyes, Scatpacks, RTs, or any car of your choice, right? So let's jump straight into this video. Hey guys, so we're gonna go ahead and jump straight into it. I actually took my time out and made a laundry list of items. Shout out to my boy Smooth Hemi. It's a laundry list of items to go over. It was kind of hard to remember everything in detail and in order, so I wrote it down on paper to share with you guys. I'll also show you this at the end of the video if you want to kind of screenshot this and take this purchase plan into the dealership with you. But the first thing we're gonna do, man, when buying a car, I don't think a lot of us understand our tax bracket, right? Some of you probably like, hey, what do you mean by tax bracket? I make this, I make that. What you make versus what you bring home are two different things, right? You can make 60, 70K. That doesn't mean you can afford a 60, 70K car, right? Now you're probably looking at me like, what the hell are you talking about? Yes, I can. No, you can't. Because if you make 60, 70K and your monthly bills come out to be maybe between $2,500 to $3,500, well, guess what? That's your check per month, right? If you look at how much it costs to rent out your house, pay insurance, and all these things throughout the year, does it amount to 80K, 60K, or even 70K? So just a FYI, man, understand your tax bracket and make sure when you're going out here to buy these cars that it makes sense. I would hate to see another person in one of these cars and they cannot afford it. Alright, so the second thing is knowing and expecting what to pay for these cars, right? I got two red eyes. We all know that. If you follow me, you know that. If you're new to the channel, I got two red eyes. Woo! Whatever. Regardless of what type of car it is, if the car is valued at 70 to 80K, please, I need you guys to understand this. And let me take this out of my ear. That way I'm not distracted when I say this to you. Expect to pay over $1,000 a month, right? And that's including if you have a zero APR, right? I mean, zero interest rate. You're still gonna pay between $1,000 or more for these cars. So don't think that you're about to go in the dealership and work out this crazy deal. And no, I'm not protecting the dealership because I don't like those guys like that, because they take advantage of us in a lot of ways. But a quick side note while we're even talking about dealership before I go to the third item. In my very first video, I kind of, put the dealership out there, which dealership to go to, and how to get deals brokered that way. Well, that dealership decided to stop doing business with me. So when I bought the second red eye, I bought it on the private market. I couldn't go through them. They were great when I bought the car, but they didn't like that I was helping people save money, so they decided to go ahead and ban me from making purchases there. Now I can still go there and buy parts and stuff like that, but they will not do any business with me that involves buying a car. So as an FYI, man, I'm not going to go ahead and do all that stuff, man, because it just is what it is. But yeah, I can no longer go back there and do business with them because they felt as if I was impacting them negatively as far as them making money and marking stuff up on people. Alright, now, we're faced with two options in this market, right? The first option being you can buy a car used or new. That's on a dealership, on the lot. That's already at the dealership. That's crazy. But anyway, you can buy a car new or used that's already at the lot, or you can order one, right? So what you have to understand is the price increase, right? So when a car gets to a dealership, they start putting tint on it. They start putting this nitrous-filled air in the tires. They start doing all these different things in there that marks the price up, right? These are what we call markups. This is when you're marking a car up with things that's not necessary to drive the car, or even that the average user or buyer, customer, even wants on the car. Now, it's the same thing when you're online, right? And you're going through the build options. You're like, oh man, these colors are nice. Oh man, I gotta have a red seatbelt. Oh man, I gotta have this, I gotta have that. You know, it's all accessories. All of those add up. And again, I'm not gonna get into too much details because I got a couple videos out already explaining, you know, how much they're marking up these cars, especially the jailbreak, based on these new accessories and these new features. So make sure you tap into that. The fourth item is financing. I think this is the biggest thing that everyone forgets to like focus on. You know, everybody wants to run in there and just get credit ran and just deal with what they got. Financing is the biggest piece of getting your car. Now, you can either finance, a lease, or even pay the car out, right? Some people that pay the car out, whoop-de-doo, congratulations for you. I just don't see the value in spending all that money up front just for this car to get into an accident, and they don't even pay me half of what the car is worth, right? Some people like the lease. Good for you. I can't see the value in someone putting an allowance on my mileage. So if I wanted to sit here and drive from here to Florida, I can't do that because of a mileage limiter, and if I go over those mileages that are set for the month, I have to pay an additional 50 to 60 cents per mile. So financing works for me. Now, when it comes to financing, you also have things that you have to focus on, and one of the things being is, how are you going to finance this car? Are you going to do it through your dealership, or are you going to do it through your internal institution, which is your bank? Now, I'll say this real quick. Always try to get your credit pulled and get approved for your car at your bank. If you can do that, that's probably, you're going to get, one, the best interest rate. Two, you can work and negotiate a better term, whether it's long term or short term. And three, you're just comfortable not having to deal with the dealership and all their BS, right? So let's switch over to the dealership side. When you go into the dealership and you let them run your credit, they are then going to send your credit, they're going to run your credit with between 10 and 20 different institutions, which when I say institutions, I mean banks, right? They're going to run it between 10 banks, 10 loan companies, or whatever you want to call them, right? They're going to run them against 10 of those people or organizations, and you're going to have all these inquiries on your credit report. Now, I'll be honest with you, I feel like going into the dealership are for those who are not confident and doesn't have a stable credit score. And what I mean by stable is a credit score that's actually good, a good credit score. Now, people who have poor credit score, they typically go to the dealership to get these things ran through, because one of these banks is going to pick you up. One of these banks or institutions is going to take a risk on you with your low credit score. But because they're taking this risk, this interest rate is going to be out the roof. It's going to be sky high. So please pay attention, man. And like I told you in my previous video, go with your bank if you can. And do not discuss numbers when you get it. I mean, do not discuss credit score when you get into the dealership. Also, if you're in this market right now looking for a car, just understand that the interest rates are really crazy right now. And what I mean by crazy is like crazy bad, like bad. They're high. The market is switching, so the rates are high. So it's on the up and up. So on top of you getting approved for a loan, you got to understand that you're going to pay a lot more in interest. So keep that in mind as well. And like I said, I got a laundry list here. We're going to get through it all. Bear with me. Once you get to, and this is just high level stuff, right? Nothing too crazy. Once you get to the dealership, understand what the car is worth, right? Ask them for the original MSRP sticker, right? What that means is that's the window sticker where the car came in as, right? You want to see the original MSRP sticker, and you want to do the math and see how much they're marking the car up. That right there is considered the markup. Once you subtract what the original MSRP was from the markup price, you can then understand how much they're marking the cars up. Now, if you don't know, in this market, they're marking the cars up between $10,000 to $20,000. So people are paying an additional $10,000 to $20,000 just for these cars, and it's not even just the Hellcat. It's Scatpacks, it's RTs. It's crazy. I've seen someone selling a Scatpack for $75,000, which is out of mind. But guess what? Somebody's gonna buy that damn Scatpack, and I feel bad for them. So stay on your P's and Q's, man. Make sure you understand that, man. And I'm gonna reiterate this: do not pay more than the MSRP. If you can, in any way possible, do not pay more than the MSRP. Last, before I get into the game plan, is stick to your guns. If you go in there and you say something to the representative in there, mean what you say what you mean, and do exactly everything that you say you're going to do. Alright, so this is for those who cannot get an approval with your own bank. So if you can't get approval with your own bank, what you want to do is you want to go to the dealership. Yes, they're going to run your credit, and I'm almost sure they're going to find somebody. If your credit is decent, okay-ish, poorish, they're going to find somebody that has a deal for you, right? May not be what you want, but it's going to be a deal. And after looking at your options, you're going to be like, oh crap, well, these are my only options. I'm going to have to settle with this one. Don't settle. Sometimes give yourself a month or two, build your credit, get it right, and then come back and get it for a better deal. It'll save you a lot more money in those 3 years of you waiting, or maybe a year or two of you waiting, than you getting that deal right then and there, right? So if you decide to go with them, you have every right to tell them not to run your credit more than 5 times, right? So when you go in there, you give them your social, they're going to run your credit within the house, right? Because there's a dealership financing you can do. So that's one inquiry. Now, you only want them to run it 5 times. So you want them, and this is a conversation you need to have, you must have. You must tell them, hey, listen, I only want it ran 5 times. 1 with you, and I need you to run it 4 other times with your best institutions. With the best, they know who the good ones are already. They know who the good ones are, they know who the bad ones are. So please keep in mind and tell them that they will have to respect it. If they run it any more than that, then you have yourself an issue on your hands. So stay firm to that. But that's only if you can't get a loan through your personal bank. Again, stay firm on your grounds, don't budge, don't wiggle. They're going to try to throw all types of tactics at you to throw you off balance. They're going to tell you stuff that sounds good. The biggest thing is, hey, you know, what's your credit score? I have my own financing. I don't need you guys. I have bringing in my own financing. Only thing I need from you guys is to know what it costs for me to walk out this door with this car today. That's all you need to go in there and say. They will give you the numbers, and then from there you can move forward. Do not fall into the trap of giving them additional information, right? Now, a lot of people don't know, but they're coming out with a new law, and it may be out already. What the law allows you to do is, if you're buying a house on the market, you get your credit pulled one time by one of the, let's say banks, right? Mortgage companies. Well, you have 90 days. I think it's 60 or 90 days where you can get that credit ran as much as you want, but it only shows up as one inquiry. I think they're now starting to do that with the auto loans as well. I don't know if they rolled it out to every state. I don't know who's doing it, who's not doing it, but keep in mind that that is something that the economy is now offering, which helps us all out, because then you can run that shit against every fucking wall to wall in the world, and you won't get all those inquiries on your credit. All right. I'm gonna say this again: avoid the 10 to 20K initial markup on these new cars, man. Please avoid them, man. Again, pay attention, understand what it is, and avoid them. Another thing, if you plan on ordering your car, well, before I get into that, a lot of people I know has been like, hey, Rod, what's going on? I tried to order my car, but the dealership is saying that I need to give them 10 to 15K, or it's a 20K markup. These are some of the dominant car dealerships in the industry. They can do that because they have high volume and they're going to sell these cars with or without you. You have to find a dealership that has low volume, that doesn't sell as many units as a dealership like that. Once you find that dealership, you can order it from them, and then you can have your car shipped to you. Don't settle with your local dealerships, because 9 times out of 10, they're going to screw you over if they're one of the major ones. So keep in mind, and that's another way of how you avoid the markups. Also, if you find a dealership wanting you to put down $5,000 just to order a car, there's another dealership out there willing to take $500, right? We all take what we can get. And a smaller dealership, they know they're not going to get someone to come in there with $5K, so they're going to take the $500 to order the car. So keep in mind, and please make sure you do your research. That's the biggest thing out of all of this, is doing your research. See a lot of people just jumping into these cars, don't give a damn what the deal is. You know, they get out here, they do whatever it is you do with these cars, beautiful cars. I don't knock anybody, but make sure financially you're responsible, because you got to live with this loan for 5 to 10 years, and that don't even count if you refinance. So just keep in mind about that, right? Now, this is the best part. A lot of us, when we buy new cars, we typically have a hoopty or another car that we want to trade in. Do not mention the trade-in to them. Do not mention the trade-in to them. Because what they do is, when you go ahead and you try to get your car traded in, they want to know how much you owe on it. They don't want to pay your car off. They want to pay less than what you owe on it, so you can get a loan that has more roll over into there. They make more money that way. So keep in mind, never to speak on your trade-in until you get your final numbers. Now, in regards to the trade-in, I'll say this too. Always get your car appraised from a non-Dodge dealership if you're going after one of these cars, or whatever car it is. Never go to a non-Dodge dealership. I would go to somewhere like CarMax, you know, one of those guys. They're gonna appraise your car. You're gonna get a good number. Now your negotiation could begin, right? Because if you take your car after you got your numbers, you take your car there, you get it appraised, and they're like, hey, let's say CarMax say your car, they give you $35K for your car. Then you go to Dodge, and Dodge is like, oh, we can give you 27. And you're gonna be like, whoa, hold up. I just got it appraised over here for 35. What's going on with y'all? Why y'all can't meet that? So this is where your negotiation begins to happen, right? Because once you negotiate that, they want to sell. I mean, obviously their job is to mark things up and make more money, right? Which is stupid to me. You know, as far as taking advantage of people. Good business scheme, but stupid to me as far as taking advantage of people. But you still have to understand that, you know, you have the right to negotiate until your teeth fall out your mouth. All right? Remember, again, and I'm just going to talk over some things. I'm not going to get into a lot of details, but this is just high-level stuff. Don't discuss credit before knowing your numbers. Because when you start discussing credit, once they know your credit, then they start throwing different numbers at you. Trust me. Been there, done that. It's not what it is, right? Another thing, once you get, let's say you're happy with the numbers that you're getting, right? And now you're at the moment where you want to sign the paperwork, get the car and all that stuff. Do not sign up for any of the warranties. None of them. Don't do any extended warranties. Don't do any tire warranties. Don't do any, the oil change packages might be okay. I know how to do my own, but they might be okay. That's probably the only thing. Do not get none of the other like protective warranties. Because 9 times out of 10, we don't have these cars long enough for the factory warranty to expire. So the factory warranty, you got probably 35,000 to 65,000 miles before you have to even consider an extended warranty. Well, guess what? You'll be paying for this warranty for no reason. So that's another markup, right? It's a markup scheme. Try your best to stay away from that. This is my favorite part of them all, and I think this is what got me banned from the other dealership, is when I told you guys in my other video that you can still, once you get your numbers and they put it on paper, you can go up there and have the finance manager sign off on it. He can sign off on it, you sign off on it, and what that does is it locks you in. If they are unwilling to do that, you need to leave that dealership. You need to leave that dealership. But the good thing about it is you can get those numbers without them running your credit, without talking about a trade-in or any of the above. Say, hey, listen, I'm looking to buy this car. I need to know what my out-the-door number is. Once they give you that, have them sign it if it works. If it's within your budget, have them sign that piece of paperwork. Trust me, it works every time. They can't go back on their signature. By them signing that, they're contractually binding this deal if you go through with it. And you're signing it, also agreeing to work this deal out. I mean, last but not least, you know, like I said, it's a laundry list of things. But last but not least, man, it's really simple, right? Just, you can really get a dream car of yours or a car that you want if you follow these steps. Now, drop in the comments below what you think. I know this might sound redundant, but there's a few things that have changed since, you know, over a year or two ago when I bought my car, right? I felt like it was a little easier to buy the car then than it is now, right? You just got to deal with a lot more BS, people trying to take more advantage and charge you more for things that you really don't need with these cars. So again, like, comment, subscribe, turn the notification bells on, share this video, and until the next one, man, Red Eye Ride, we out. Peace.